Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Gift Genius TV. I'm Mr. Phil, your host. This is part two of the topic, the dawn of a new age of opportunity for Africans. And the reason why I'm doing a part two is because there's a lot to cover. I ended part one by talking about the fact that the leaders in Africa, even the ones that actually participated in slave trade, although a lot of slaves were actually stolen by the Europeans, they had no idea what chattel slavery was. Because, like I said, in Africa, we've had slaves, and we've had so many stories of slaves as well that have risen to prominence in Africa. Because you see, the kind of slavery in Africa, I actually if I'm totally honest, I have my grandfather was a very, very wealthy man. And my grandfather on my mom's side was a very wealthy man, and he did very well for himself. But I hear that in his history, he was actually sold into a kind of slavery in Africa. And so, but by the time he was in his 40s and 50s, he became a very wealthy man. Okay, so in Africa, the kind of slavery that we had in Africa and we had is not the kind of slavery that people experience in the Caribbeans and in the US and in Haiti and all those things. You know, so chattel slavery was a slavery where the owner extracts all the capital, all the resources, all the energy, all the inventions and the intelligence of the slave and makes it its own, and without any compensation or any payment to that slave. Okay, and I even heard recently that I believe it's this whiskey, which Jack Daniels. Apparently, Jack Daniels was created by Jack Daniels' slave, a black man. But what did everything that black slaves invented during slavery was automatically just owned by their owner, and the world basically just gives the owner the credit and the slave. So anyway, you get the gist of what I'm talking about. So I can understand why there is such a I obviously I didn't go for slavery, but even I feel so done by the history of slavery. We still have it till today. And then, it irks me even when I find white people sometimes come. Like I said, this is not about white against black. This is about just experiences and just understanding the motives behind things, and and understanding how things feel from a black perspective and from a white perspective. Okay, now from my personal perspective, I've heard white people say, "Oh, if you're so intelligent, how come Africa is the way it is? Yeah, look at how developed the UK is. Look at how developed Germany is. Look at how developed the Western world is. Look at how underdeveloped Africa is. If you lot were not monkeys, why can't you develop your own civilization?" And that used to irk me, because one of the things that they grossly overlook is that they took all the capital, all the know-how, all the resources, and they still continue to do it, brain drain from Africa, and then all that comes to build here. Talk less of the things that they took out of Africa, like our artifacts, like our technology. I even know of a technology of bronze casting that they found in Ile-Ife. I'm a Nigerian, I'm a Yoruba. So from the Yoruba region of Nigeria, they took this technology of bronze casting, and it's never nowhere else in the world did they have the technology of casting a 360 degrees bronze casting. They found it first in Nigeria, and from Roman times, no one in the world could cast a bust 360 degrees until they got to Ile-Ife in Nigeria. They got that technology and they hid it. You see, the person that was sent to Nigeria to be the governor of Nigeria under colonialism was Lord Lugard. Lord Lugard, even before being sent to Nigeria, was already a war criminal. So he wasn't sent to Nigeria to develop anything. He was sent to Nigeria as a ruthless person to extract resources and prevent development. Period. And he did his job perfectly. So all these white people that say, oh, well, we're developed and you're underdeveloped, they basically gloss over the fact that there's a reason for that. And the reason for that was that their forebears came to our lands, stripped our lands of people and materials. Okay, well, there's got to be something to be said about this. Well, let's look at it. They won the war and took prisoners of war, basically, because they got to our lands, were mild people compared to them and their lands. They've been killing each other in Europe for centuries. You only need to watch their programs like Game of Thrones, Vikings, and see how harsh their land is and how harsh their land hardened them. Contrast that to Africa, where our land is mild. We didn't have that kind of cold-blooded streak in us. So when they came to us and they gave us a mirror and some liquor, we were ready to, be hospitable to them, So, you know what? I'm not saying all that to complain. I'm just saying all that to let us understand where we're coming from, okay? Now, I've said all that to say this. Now there's a dawn of a new age. Let's move on from here. Reparations has its place, but let us not rely on reparations, because nothing, even if we succeed in getting reparation, is still going to be a slap in the face compared to the atrocities and the effects of slavery. Okay, so I'm not saying people should not go for reparations. Go for reparations as much as you can. I support it. However, I am just saying let's not be distracted by that, because it can never repay us. Okay? Now, so what is this dawn of new age that Mr. Phil is talking about? I'm talking about AI. Because just like white people were able to go to Africa and get labor for free, labor that would produce and they don't have to pay that labor, technology is now providing the whole world, regardless of your color. Technology is now effectively bringing on a new slave class. This slave class is purely going to be technology, artificial intelligence. It is not a human being, but it will produce even better than a human being, because it will work 24 hours. You don't have to pay it a salary. It doesn't have to go for sick leave. It doesn't have to say yes. It's going to go for maternity leave. It's going to work and work and work and work and work and work and work, producing something of value. And that is why I'm telling Africa that this is the time, because once AI kicks in, nobody will care about your color. Let me repeat that. Once AI kicks in and we start having driverless cars, driverless trucks, driverless this, automated that, AI doing this, AI doing that, no one will give two hoots about your color. As a matter of fact, your color will just be an exotic thing, because everybody will see that you're a human being. You know why? Because we now have a new slave class. And the new slave class is artificial intelligence and automation. Robots. So in the new and the near future, it doesn't matter what race, ethnicity, whatever you are, will not matter anymore. Dare I say, it will not even matter what your education is to a lot of extent, because a lot of the things, apart from everything is going to be hit. That means that, if you can't become a graphic artist better than an AI as we go forward. A lot of engineering is going to be taken over by automation. A lot of retail jobs. So many jobs will be taken over. and become obsolete because of automation. And we cannot stop this from happening. Anyway, the good news is simply this. So in the AI future, it will labor will be cheap. Labor will be the cheapest that mankind has ever seen it because AI is coming. Like, look, let me give you an example now. If I want to listen to any music, I've got myself Alexa. I just say, Alexa, and it will say, what do you want? And I'll tell him, play me Marvin Gaye from blah, 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 blah. And it will just say, playing Marvin Gaye for blah, blah, blah. And it will basically just come up with it. I was amazed. I asked it for Sam Cooke. It's like I have the whole music library at my fingertips now. I remember when I used to buy CDs of, exotic music from Nina Simone, Louis Armstrong. Now I realize all those CD are unnecessary now because I just ask Alexa, Alexa plays it. And if I say, Alexa, put it on repeat, it puts it on repeat. If I say, Alexa, give me the best of anyone, if I say, Alexa, best of Bob Marley, boom, it will start playing it. So again, the world has changed, ladies and gentlemen. What is Alexa? Alexa is an AI, is an artificial intelligence, and it is there 24/7 forever. It's already here, ladies and gentlemen. And what I'm trying to make everybody aware of is that it is an opportunity for Africa. And in part 3, maybe I will be breaking down what exactly is that opportunity for Africa. Africa needs to get into AI big time. And when I say get into AI big time, get into, the children of Africa needs to be studying AI. They need to be studying what they can do with AI in preparation. Even if you don't have the means now, start talking to your governments, start talking to your university lecturers, start talking to anybody, start talking to your businessmen, start talking to anybody in Africa right now. Even if you don't have the means, start talking to them. Look, we need to get ready for AI. Get on the internet. You have access to the internet in Africa right now. Start investigating what AI can do for you, for your community, for your in education, in every aspect of life, in production, in everything. You will see opportunities that you can create a niche for yourself. Okay, so I'm already looking at how AI will enhance what Mr. Phil does. So AI, everybody right now should be looking into AI, artificial intelligence, how far the technology has gone now, how far it has to go, how far is the adoption. Do it now, because that window of opportunity is there now, but it will not be there forever. You understand what I'm saying? So that by the time things are getting up to steam, you are part of the change. Then you have a stake. And my heart's desire is that Africa has a large stake in this new dawn of AI. That is my heart's desire, because if Africa has a large stake in this new drive of AI, man, we're gonna do a lot of catching up. Okay? As usual, click like on this video if you like what I'm talking about. If you believe it's helpful, please subscribe for future content. Invite your friends, share this. Let's get this word out there and start empowering and equipping ourselves for an amazing future. I'll speak to you in part 3.